Priscilla. Summerless. Awesome sauce. Who is up to chat about life and stuff? Name this one Flooding for Men, because I kind of got into a bit of a fun game as to what the hell flooding even means, because I was trying to make an article for guys to get away from the fact that there's chaos outside. How are you guys going? What's happening? How is your day going? There's some people that challenge me on this app. You're one of them. Apart from that, anyone else up and want to have a chat, want to say hi, where you're coming in from, and also if you've got any other questions for me. Great about the challenge or great about the day? Because either way, good. I legitimately blogged about the spiciest conversation to have without sweating as a blog. I really need to joke more in my blogs because it seems to pick up attention, but I literally went, how the hell do I tell guys how to flirt? Because, well, let's get this straight. Everyone sucks at flirting these days, so. Yeah, so guys, let me know what's been happening. I am not entering the trolls or the weird questions or comments, so come right in and have a chat with me. Otherwise, I will be going up live between 5 and 10 minutes. I'm also having a vino for my Capri friends. My stepdad's also a Capricorn, so good times ahead. Who is feeling good? Who is feeling well? Who wants to guess my star sign and age? Who wants to talk about relationships? Who wants to talk about personal issues? And so many other things. And who wants to talk about that gorgeous sunset we just had? I knew it was going to be pink. It's always going to be freaking pink when there's even when there's a thunderstorm. Hashtag Straya. Feeling well. That's important. That is very important. It also seems that I may or may not be doing beach time tomorrow and then a house viewing on Thursday, so looks like my week is gone. Hands up, anyone who's been following me for a while, my regulars. Usually I can tell, but not today because I'm not reading the right stuff. So we'll be going on about the attraction mindset and what the hell flirting is about. Because we got dudes asking for permission to flirt, and quite frankly, they don't need it. They set up the shit. They don't need a bloody permission from anyone to flirt. Unless they're into BDSM, but then that's just wrong. Wine will help you sleep. Sometimes. My head is still out of it. I live on my own. Family's overseas. I do what I can. I do what's best. So, yeah. Any questions or comments for me, guys? I'm Anna. I'm a dating coach, author, and blogger. I am here to help you out with life, get some positivity in you, and also give you some guide and references to the positivity guide, which is through the link in my bio through Instagram. Can't wait to put up my blog as well. Flirting is more for women to do to men. Thank you for the follow, Zemma. I think flirting is for everyone. Flirting is just getting playful. I wouldn't go into the roasting and the banter and competitiveness thing. I'm talking lightly flirtatious. Leos are masters at this stuff. I'm not gonna say I'm not, but I definitely do take things more seriously than others. So, yeah. I guess I can understand why you made that statement. Thing is, men are not really taken seriously at the moment until they can be taken seriously, which means they have to prove themselves. But that's why I put in a foundation thing in my blog, and then talking about flirting and things to avoid. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. So who is keen on a chat sesh? Who wants to talk life? And who is happy to see me up at this time? So weird, but after this wine, I'm just like, the hell? Why am I not Like, I'm feeling very light. The red wine usually makes me a little bit more sedated, but anyway. I don't even have any music up. It's crazy. Woohoo, I got a comment on a video. So, I'm namely here for those guys who are young professionals, who are looking to have a date, but also looking for long term. Not so much in there for the discovery stuff, which is fun, but I find that I have way more fun talking about what it takes to be in the long term with a woman, because everything else is discovery mode. So when you're talking about attraction mindsets, you usually get a lot of competitive based mindsets from a guy as to what makes it and breaks it. But actually, relationships and work stuff is completely different things. So that's why I kind of go into all the fears and anxieties and past life situations that a guy might have going forward. And I break that down and I kind of spin it around and kind of put it the other way. And I put that with selfless statements so that you can actually have a good date, but also kind of like draw on life experiences and also the high value man mindset to actually get to that point where you can feel like you can be assertive and confident in chasing after a woman / whatever it is that you want. That's a goal. So that's basically what I do. And then there's trainings involved with self-worth statements. There's a whole bunch of things, but that's the gist of it. To get more information, you can easily just go jump on a value call with me and find out more if you need that. Otherwise, let's chat life and stuff, or let me see if I've got any relationship questions from the guys. I am very I love my birds. I'm hearing my kookaburras sing. Today I had 2 king parrots in the back. I think one was a baby because he was molting like all these green feathers and he was turning into a beautiful red and green king parrot. And the funniest part is that he's just as happy to chill out on my my back porch as the dad is. And the dad is just cute as anything. And I have one of them that eats from my hand. I don't know if I made that TikTok yet, but one does eat from my hand, and it's wildlife, so it just tells you about the bonding and trust building that I have in my life. So, User 6198, are you by any chance a guy called Alfonso? Because this would really not surprise me. What's your view on relationships that start at work? There's stacks of them that start at work. My mom literally remarried a dude who she knew from work ages back. Then there's another chick that I know from my high school who also, thank you for the roses, who married a guy after being with him forever. They, I think, had like either 2 or 3 kids, probably 2. I actually did see 2 blonde little baby girls walking on a street just as I was walking down, crazy story, back from the beach. So it works. You just need to figure out, half the time the guys are using stealth because they know they can't just win the girl over in one day. They kind of, schmooze her and romance her and show how they can provide and stuff, and just kind of get into that. Like, guys will never ever be in that vibe of just committing just like that. Some do, some don't. But I've noticed that the ones who do usually know what they're looking for and they pounce on it, so. Oh, your name is Ryan. Hello, Ryan. My name's Anna. Thank you, Chloe. That's how I met my wife. What? See? That's like, there you go. Funniest part is, me personally, I've never, I decided from early on that I'm not going to mess around at work. Like, there was so many opportunities for that to happen, but I was like, nah. I even know one chick who I became good friends with. She was a secretary / receptionist to a big company, and she met her fiance, who was in IT, by the fact that he was screwing with her equipment, and he had to meet her as a result of that. Makes you wonder. But apparently that's not a first. Apparently a lot of IT dudes do that, because they can't really go out and socialize either way because they've got stacks of work and stuff. There's there was once a time I remember when I was in the office, and there was a guy that came through, and I gotta tell you, the affairs don't start without a shitload of electricity going on, because that's the only reason why I found myself kissing the two cheeks of one guy at work ages back. And sometimes it's a lot about power and empathy and warmth. That is lethal. And I remember kissing like the three cheek thing because I was living in Switzerland and working there, and I was like, okay, you had your fun for 2 seconds, and now you have to back off because yeah. And he was like some kind of a general manager for something else, but who doesn't love a hot chick coming towards him with a bunch of kisses? Also, that was like what do I call it? There's a custom, and then there's the bit where you make a gesture towards someone, and then you find that there's way too much enthusiasm for what it is coming out. That's the scary part. So I've had that as well. So yeah. Relationships can start from anywhere, guys. I've had freaking dudes on my LinkedIn ask for my WhatsApp, for Pete's sake. Like, guys shoot their shot where they can. Although it's funny because it's like, okay, you saw my profile and you started saying hi. That doesn't mean that I'm going to give you my WhatsApp. Like, what's with the desperation? You have to schmooze people slowly. My first live-in relationship, I had an affair. You mean an affair with the relationship or an affair outside of it? Guys, I do not support polygamy or polyamory. Once again, that is my pet peeve in these chats sometimes. I get asked these questions because it's more about the health. Oh, it was disastrous. I felt pretty bad about it. Yeah, it would be. I mean, to begin with, you're living a dishonest life. Because to get away with things, you have to create white lies. And in the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you get caught or not. You're living a double life. And that person deserves more. It's like me with one other guy who was very giving, very generous. But at the end of the day, I knew just not it. Like, just not. And I kind of had to let it go. I had to find a moment when he was not around me to say, hey, that ain't it. So now I understand how these things work. Now I understand where these things come from. It was entirely my fault. It's good that you got that accountability. Well done. So anyone else with a question? Thanks, Kenny. So, apart from that, guys, are there any questions or big situationships you want to get out of? Because I gotta tell you, situationships are very easy to get into these days. Which is why even when I'm chatting to a guy, I have my boundaries big time. And that actually automatically filters out so many things. Which is a good thing. You don't want to waste your time with stupidity. It happens when you're being pursued. Hello, Miko. What's up? The amount of unethical things that I've heard so far, offline and online, between the online chaos and what my girlfriends have gone through, like I have my stance on things, so. You call me an aunt, then you ask me where I'm from. Check my bio, dude. Oh my god, Sarah Danielle! Okay, sweetie, what do you want to talk about? And then I'll put the thing through. Thank you for the follow, Miko. Also, wait a second, TikTok is giving me a suggestion. Screw that. So, any other questions or stories that you want me to go into? Relationships can be boring when it becomes routine, but it takes two to make it happen. That's true. It's true. But then everyone talks about the same bloody thing. When the chemistry's gone, what do you do? When sex is meh, what do you do? When such and such is not like as spicy as it used to be. People are always looking for the thrill, but they're never looking at how to deepen their relationships, because that's the scariest part for a lot of people. Thank you for the follow, you two people. Do you know what I mean? Like, for me, the scariest part is not the routine, it's the part that a guy gets to know me on a very deeper level than I'm projecting out there. And I've been on my own for a while, which is a conscious choice that I've made. But after having had a broken heart at 21, which was more than 10 years ago, I just decided that I'd get more experience before doing other things. Thanks, Carbo. Your mind is a powerful weapon, it often wanders. Okay, so, trolls aside. 21 is too young. You can tell that to a lot of people. There was a guy here who was, I think, 14, and he mentioned that his girlfriend committed suicide. We did not take that lightly. I don't think that deserves to be taken lightly. So, you can't start telling people what's too young and what's too old, because age is really just a construct. It really is. The more that I work with people, the more I work with clients, I notice that the people who want a new start, a refresh, a new take on life and love themselves better, it's a beautiful thing. They should be. That's all right. The important thing is that he got a moment and he was able to get some help for that. Sometimes, I get it. For guys, you have to go deep inwards and you have to have that silence and you have to figure out how to face things or whatever. Cool. But sometimes some do seek community help and some do want an extra, I would be more than happy to say something on that agenda. But if the guy hears it being verbalized, then that it makes it more real, and then maybe then the grieving process starts. I don't know. I'm assuming. But if I can do my job on that, then I've done the job for the night. So, who else has got a question for me? Who wants to meet women? Who wants to approach them? Who has a bit of a conflict situationship that I can figure out? Well, not figure out, but help you get clarity in. Who has the dream life that they have in their head? Because I can definitely help you get there as well. Law of attraction helps. It's all I ever listen to actually these days. It makes me happy and knowing that I can do something about my life. It's like where I script a lot of things, so yeah. Alright guys, get another 5-10 before I head off because I really can't stand a quiet chat, so let me know. I'm really enjoying this peace and quiet right now. If I don't socialize or go out, I really enjoy peace at home. Mostly because I know it's the apocalypse outside. Not gonna lie. Are you like the smooth character who sets up relationships? You mean a hitch? I've had that comment so many times from people. It's a glamorized form of what we're up to. It's actually a lot more to do it than Hollywood gives out. I mean, basically yes and no. Hitch. Definitely doing more than what you see in the films. It's like asking if, say I'm French and you like me and you go, oh, are you Emily from Paris? And I go, well, not really, because that movie is just absolute shite house compared to the real stuff. I told my mom, it's highly glamorized. There's actually about 50% of it that's actually true, and the only reason why it works is because it's 50% true. You wouldn't want to watch it if it was 100% true. King Harix, can you send me your question that you want to talk about? Then I will most happily approve of the request. All good, it's fantastic. You offer free advice on relationships. Well, it's free for a moment. If the person wants to do deeper work, then I go into it. Wait, you're giving pickup tips? Yeah. Must be very weird to see a girl looking like me saying that, but yeah. Woo! 233 likes. Before I go into a live with you, are you married? Yeah, okay, with a question like that, we are not doing a guest request, because usually I have questions from people who really need a solution to their problems, or they need clarity in a situation. So with that, not happening, sorry. I've never had a hot prospect or a client ask me my marital status, ever, like ever. I'll have like a curious person in there somewhere. Thank you, Tim. I've had a curious person in there, like here and there, ask me about like what my credentials are and what experience I have, but it's mostly because it's just like, oh, so what has she got to offer? Where the hell did she get all this information from? So, no, I'm not answering that. Anyone else got a question? Pickup tips, like the amount of times that I've had tips and advice and hot hacks and tricks, like I know what the guy's trying to say, but in the world of the male ego, we will understate the shit out of everything. My clients who know what they're coming in for will never call it that because they understand the depth of support that I provide in the value calls and in the one-to-one and in all the videos that I've ever made. But the ones who are just in it for the quick wins, of course, are going to call it that. So just FYI. Did you check up the Facebook profile of the She's Your Doppelganger? I've tried to. Look, mate, I don't really do a thing where I check on Facebook for every single goddamn person that intrigues me. I never do that, actually. But I couldn't find it, no. There's a lot of people called Angela Styx, apparently. Intriguingly enough. Not enough called Anya Likoa if you look up me on Facebook and if you want to chat and DM and find out what I can do for you on Facebook, but yeah. And I do lives there occasionally. I've come to the point where I'm like, TikTok actually enjoys my appearance, whether I'm weird or not, so for some strange reason I'm feeling more accepted in that way, but I will be doing more lives soon enough. It's amazing, I'm freaking out. That's good. So anyone got a question about relationships? I'll probably stop fielding it for just that because, woo! One of my coaches has got another live coming. I'm loving this. The less I get bored and have to focus on the apocalypse that's coming outside, the better. Anya, so you are Russian. There's a bit of a Anya could easily be Polish, Russian, German, and I don't know, it could even be Brazilian for all you know. Funny that you asked about that. I am Ukrainian background. I was raised in Australia since I was 4. Then I am kind of like, I'm not exactly Swiss, but my extended side is Swiss German. So, but the reason why it's ANYA is because when I was changing my name back in 2017, I think. No, wait, 2016. I changed it because I didn't want my dad to find my profile because he had found me somehow. And also I just, it was a celebration for the fact that I had no more courses with my classmates who were driving me up the wall because I was starting to get deep into my master thesis, which was the last part of my master's degree in Switzerland, Lugano, where I was doing my communications degree. And so when I changed it, I was trying to change it to Anna as well, but after about 3 years, Facebook's not letting me for some strange reason, so that's where it's at. I got a thing for Ukrainian girls. A lot of people do. We're smoking hot. When we don't have an accent, obviously. So anyone got a question for me? And I gotta tell you guys, picking up women on lives is not hot. Not hot. Picking up a woman on the DMs through video chats, not hot. Not hot. That's not hot husband shit. Thank you for the follow, Kiki Buck. Because you're using a woman's connection point as a way to get to know her. Don't do that. Do it on your own bloody time. No. That's the fastest way to get blocked, actually, because you haven't earned the respect and the trust. But if you do want to win it, I know how to get you there. One question, should a man approach a woman or the other way around? Frickin' take advantage of the opportunity and go approach her. Like what we are in a state of overanalysis right now, guys. Too much information at our hands, too much shit in public. Like you have to like center up and ground yourself and be present for the moment and go, what the fuck do I actually want? And go from there. And once you know whether you actually want to approach that woman or not, you'll know what to do. And if you don't, then just call me up and then I'll be like, hey, there's a whole bunch of fears and anxieties behind that whole mindset. What do you want to do next? And then that's when we get into the good stuff. No, the accent is fucking hot, but thank you, Tim Tim. What else can I tell you about approaching a woman and not causing her pain? Basically, approaching a woman should not cost her anything. Should not cost her space, her boundaries, her trust, her anything. I'm actually doing a blog on this right now, so I'll link in bio via Instagram, so yeah. P.S. Mine's like Aussie mixed with Dutch, apparently, according to a lot of people, so not that I actually care. I care about being understood by several people who know different languages apart from English, so that's my priority. Anyone got a question? It's 2. I should have just put it as dating for men instead of flirting because you guys picked up on the wrong goddamn idea. I only catch the Aussie accent, not the Dutch part. Thank you, dude. I get a lot of interesting people coming in with their 2 cents on where the hell I'm from just based on how I sound. The way I sound can seriously change from month to month, so... Anyone got a question about relationships otherwise? Hello from Sydney, Mike. Oh, we made it 30 minutes so far. That's actually a pretty good goal. I actually forgot to tell all my goddamn followers about the live today. Phones are too much of a distraction on a date, true? Question mark. If you treat the date as a way to get to know the woman and by showing her that she's got your full attention, then yeah, the phone needs to go. Like you need to make a very obvious choice that you're not going to look at your phone because your date takes 100% of your attention. This is obviously if you are in a very focused, I'm going to meet the one that I want to be with kind of chat, rather than what do you have to offer and where am I in life and blah, blah, blah. Because guys come at it with really bad angles. But if you're in a very focused, like hyper-focused, I want to be with you and date you and la, 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 then that's the sexiest thing ever. But to be honest with you, I've sometimes used the phone as a way to, as a way of conversation. But I'm more on the friend zone side, like not on the friend zone, but I'll be friendly with a person before I know what to do with them. Thank you, Always Bajwa. You must speak a lot of languages if your accent changes a lot. I think this one might be more understandable if you think that I am, in fact, a bit of a sponge sometimes. Like, I'll just take in whatever's in my environment and I'll try my best to, like, reflect that. Not quite sure why, but it just seems to be a thing that I do to heighten up people's comfort. It's what Moon in Pisces does a lot. Don't know if anyone follows Moon Priest. He's just freaking fantastic. Whenever he slides up a clip, like he makes everyone, no matter what sign is zodiac, feel awesome, even for their weirdness. And sometimes I feel like that could be a goal that I'm after, but quite frankly, if I respect everyone, then everyone should respect me. So there you go. How do you guys use your phones on a date? Like, is there do you actually show your phones on a date on the table or anything? Or what do you guys do? Because if you accidentally go and check your phone halfway through the date or something, like I've never actually had a guy fully focus on me and check his phone all the time. Like that just tells me that, yeah, no, we're not in the right place and this guy does not have his priorities correct. So that's why we're going to head off. I don't know, how tall are you, dude? And also that HI tells me where you're coming in from. I'm a dating coach, author, and blogger. You might want to up-level that tone of voice. Never been on a date, but I'd put the phone away. It's a distraction. Yep. I'd even take off the Wi-Fi. Freaking hell. I mean, obviously, if it's a good date. If we're not concerned for our safety, definitely. What's good? What's cooking? Not a good idea. Turn it off. Enjoy the meal. See, I can just tell the maturity of the person on my live through what he says. 7-1. That's a big one. So, see, that's the thing. There's the meal, there's the person, there's the topic of conversation. At some point, like, this is why I really encourage people to go on a coffee date first, and I tell them exactly what to do from start to finish in terms of what the hell to do in order to show off the masculinity, which is going to tell the girl, oh, okay, this is the guy for me. And it's casual, it's relaxed, you're not spending a huge amount of money, like at most maybe $20 if you're going to eat a lot. I don't know if you're hungry or not. But the point is to get to know each other and make it as casual as possible to go, okay, do we go from 1 to 3 yet? Like, get strategic about what the fuck you're doing. Do you know what I mean? Like, excuse my French, but that's pretty much what it is. Yeah. You can use the meal as a conversation. There was another guy that came in before talking about how he's known one chick for more than a year and he's been trying to ask her out, but she keeps, trying to look like she's busy. And I said, in that case, don't use the date as a means to get there. Use the meal as a way to talk about how you're giving her incentive to say yes to you because you've got all these things in common and you can help her out with something. That is probably the only way she's going to say yes to you because she's also at university apparently and she clearly prioritizes family and university. So if you wedge yourself in priority between those two, you're good to go. Do you know what I mean? Thank you for the follow, Nico. But yeah, the biology part, guys, that makes 40% of the damn thing. The rest of it is proving how much you care, how much you're a man in that conversation, in that chat, and so many other things. Coffee dates seem more comfortable and less intimidating. Exactly. That's why I recommend them for at least dates 1 to 2. After that, you can consider how much you want to invest. Keywords, help her out. Give her incentive. Give her something to chew on. The more intelligent the woman, the more you have to up what the hell you got to give. Because the women who are up to the materialism will clearly be there for the materialism. But the ones who actually want to do something with their lives, you got to be like, hey, I just saw this article. Let's chat about it. I want to take you out. You can't say no to that. Or, hey, I just saw this article. I want to take you out and chat about this particular thing and also tell you a little bit about what I just heard about such and such. Ooh, that's sweet. I would not be able to say no to that. Like, that gives you incentive to go, material to talk about, stuff to chew on, things to help out with, and have a bit of hydration and a bit of bite. Can everyone give me a hell yeah? Hell yeah. Go for the smallest stuff at the very beginning. Like, we always go on bar dates because it's pretty easy. Just a couple of drinks, a snack, have a chat for an hour or two, and that's it. But have like an actual plan of attacks to what the hell you're doing, because half the time, like, the guy with the big stuff is not gonna make even half of that effort because he doesn't have to. He leverages off what the hell he has already. You know what I mean? Hey, Ravid. How do we get out of the zone? Okay, got a little one for you. You back away, respectfully, because that woman clearly has stated where she sees you. Because basically she's filtered you out and gone, what the hell do I have to do with you? You back away, you up-level yourself a little bit, because you need to provide, protect, and profess yourself, the 3 Ps for masculinity. Once you've got that going on, you circle back, pop up into her life, and ask her out. Does that make sense? I actually got this from some interesting comments from ages back, so just kind of go with it, really. In some ways. You can definitely go with the flow once the trust established and you're just having fun, for sure. Do you think you'll be doing this live stuff in 12 months' time? You mean here? Or you mean something else? Because I don't really know what you mean by live stuff. But to be honest, I find this job extremely meaningful and so rewarding that if I've done this for a few years for free and now I'm charging for it and I'm still having so much fun, probably even more fun actually, because I'm more open about it. I'll probably go into different categories, like I'll probably help out my girlfriends with their self-trust and all that because there's a lot to do with feminine energy when it comes to dating game. Yeah. So what I put tea tree oil on my leg. Need to put it on again. Getting itchy. Thanks, Carabum. Rabbit. A lady does not tell her age. If you really want to get to know me, you can go through Instagram. Seems like a process, but noted. Guys, if there's one thing I want to tell you guys, and I just blogged on it, a woman's heart and concerns is the most expensive thing that you'll be bargaining for.